Oh, my shoulders I've been in some pain. I got shoulder pain here, back pain there. This arm hurts. Oh, it's been rough. But I'm here. Thank you so much. I give giving thanks through all the pain. Mm-mm-mm. It's the 13th of October already. The theme today is Signs of the Servant. We're in the book of Mark. I missed you all yesterday. And Saturday, I think I missed. I was here Friday. But we're here again today, and it is Monday, the 13th. Jesus Christ is God's everything for everyone's total need. And what is Jesus Christ? That is righteousness, goodness, mercy, love, kindness, all of it. And it's cold. It is cold outside. The weather is changing. We got the verse today coming at you. And we're gonna get to that because I have office hours in an hour, so I gotta do that. Do my verse of the day today. I don't have my other laptop, so I'm not able to play my intro songs. But I've been having some serious shoulder pain right here. Shoulder pain all night. I was up tossing and turning. I couldn't get to sleep correctly, and I think it's really because the weather. It's raining here, but we're gonna get started. Thanks so much for joining. We are gonna get started, and today's theme is Signs of the Servant. So we're in the book of Mark. And the book of Mark, 7 chapters in the book of Mark, covering the first 3 years of Jesus's active ministry, and 3 chapters describing the next 6 months, now devotes 6 chapters, about 40% of his book, to the final 8 days. Throughout this last week, Jesus's activities, well, this first strong, Jesus's activities revolve around the temple as Jesus confronts the chief priests, the teachers of the law, and the elders with his irrefutable claims. Though the adoring cries of Hosanna announce the arrival of Jesus in Jerusalem, only a few days later, Jesus will hear the frenzied cry, "Crucify him." So Jesus is now taking his final steps toward the cross. So what cross are you carrying? We have an arrival in Jerusalem. We have a triumph. And then we have antagonism from the Jews. There's a turmoil. So we have triumph, turmoil, tribulation, anticipation of the future. So what does that mean for us? Thanks for liking the video, and thank you for tuning in. This is Giving Thanks, and we are here for October 13th, Monday. Our scripture challenge is in the book of Mark, and I just read the overview. The daily walk, sometimes it's difficult to remember that the people living in Jesus's day did not have the New Testament to read. They didn't have that New Testament. They knew no John 3:16 to declare the good news of the gospel, no Romans 3:23 to 24 to explain the significance of the cross, no Ephesians chapter 2 verse 1 to 10 to describe the miracle of new life in Jesus Christ. They anticipated and understood the events of their day through the lens of the Old Testament, the law of Moses, the predictions of the prophets, the word pictures contained in the Psalms and other poetic books. Right now, I am diving into the book of Enoch. The book of Enoch. So I just received this and I'm diving into it. And it's this is one of the lost books. We gotta get this one. So we see Mark draws heavily on the vital material to show the significance of events during Christ's final days on earth. Put yourself in the sandals of a first century Jew. See when you can walk your way through today's section by reading these Old Testament passages in sequence. So Psalm 118, verse 25 to 26, Isaiah 56, verse 7, Psalm 118, verse 22 to 23, Exodus 3, 6, Deuteronomy 6, 4 to 5, Leviticus 19 to 18, Psalm 110, verse 1, Daniel 9:27. That's my number. Check out Daniel 9:27, Daniel 11:31, and Daniel 12:11, and Isaiah 13:10. Now I'm interested to look at Daniel 9:27. Let's see if I can find Daniel. Daniel is right after 2 Corinthians 9:65. So let's go to Daniel 9:65. Chapter 9, verse 27. So it's about Daniel's communication to righteousness. And chapter 9, verse 27 looks at right here. He will confirm a covenant with many for 1/7. In the middle of the 7, he will put an end to sacrifice and offering. And at the temple, he will set up an abomination that causes desolation until the end that is decreed is poured out on him. So, in Daniel 9:27, we have this agreement, right? And then we have Isaiah 13, verse 10. So, what's the insight for our scripture challenge today? The unridden donkey. Mark 11, verse 2. The Old Testament ties an object to the consecrated to God. Object to be consecrated to God, set apart for special service, could never have been used previously for common purposes. Numbers 19, verse 2, 1 Samuel chapter 6, verse 7. This may explain why Christ selected a young colt that had never been ridden, Mark 11:2, and why he would later be buried in a tomb that had never been occupied, Luke 23, verse 53. So in our scripture challenge for today, Mark 11 to 13, we're looking at Jesus comes to Jerusalem as king. Jesus curses a fig tree and clears the temple courts. We have the authority of Jesus is questioned, the parable of the tenants, paying the imperial tax to Caesar. So it's kind of similar to Matthew that we just finished, but this is looking at the greatest commandment in chapter 12, verse 28, the greatest commandment, and whose son is the Messiah, warning against the teachers of the law. We have the widow's offering, the destruction of the temple, and signs of the end times. So in the book of Mark chapter 13, you must be on your guard. You will be handed over to the local councils and flogged in the synagogue. So this is a foreshadow of what is going to happen to Jesus. So that is our scripture. So go ahead, those of you who are in a reflection and worship tomorrow. But for the 15th on Wednesday, we're going into Mark chapter 14, to 16, preparation, crucifixion, and resurrection. So you could read ahead for Wednesday. Hopefully I'll be here Wednesday because we're going to be finishing up the book of Mark on Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday we're finishing up the book of Mark. So you can go ahead and read ahead the book of Mark. And try to get yourself a book of Enoch because Enoch talks about some important things that we all need to know. The book of the words of righteousness and the reprimand of those that are not righteous. So I'll put this here and I'm going to get into Enoch with you another time. I have to get to I have to open my office hours. They're opening for me to meet with students. So and I have this is a peanut punch. It's so delicious. That came out. It's so good, and I hope it helps my shoulder. I broke my left arm, so when it rains, I think it bothers me, and it was pouring and raining so much yesterday night. And those of you who celebrate Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day, today is that day. I don't celebrate October, Halloween months, nor do I celebrate Columbus Day, none of that. I celebrate the glory of righteousness that is the Most High. So let's shift now to our verse of the day. Oh my goodness. The verse of the day. And the verse of the day is coming from one of my favorite books, Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. 29, verse 11. So Daniel chapter 9, verse 27. I love it. That's my number, 927. And then we have Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. And I also like Jeremiah because Jeremiah chapter 10 talks about the Christmas tree. Yeah. Talks about going out and getting these things. Anyway, we have Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11 is our verse of the day. I don't have my song on right now. But the verse of the day speaks of the plans that God has for you. And the plans that God has, God knows the plans. And sometimes we get off track of those plans and we got to circle around again to start new. So I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. So because of that, we have to be vigilant. Because of that, because of Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11, we have to be humble and we have to surrender to the goodness and grace of righteousness that is the Most High. So Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11 is the verse of the day today, and I love that because it gives us a good foundation to start off the rest of the days ahead, to know that, you know, I turned in a grant and I didn't get it. One door closed, another big one opened. So I know that God has plans for me to prosper me and not to harm me, but to give me a hope and a future. So because of that, I have to keep on giving thanks and remember that there are signs of the servant. And these signs of the servant is embedded in our verse today and as we're going to switch over to our word today. So our word today is brought to us by 1 Corinthians 12:12. 1 Corinthians 12:12. 12:12. Okay. 1 Corinthians 12:12. And 1 Corinthians 12:12 speaks of just as the body is one and has many members, right? Your body has all these different parts of the body. And all those parts of the body, though that they're many, it's one body. So that is compared to, so it is with Christ. We are one body with that. So when we go outside of that, we are going outside of that oneness with righteousness. And we have to really be careful. Hi, Arnita Day Davis. Hi. So let's see. Farmer Grant share seeking additional reviewers. More grants are popping up. Let me see if they do have the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. Southern Sayre. Okay, I'm gonna send this to him. Let me download it. So that is the oneness we talk about is compared to how our body is. So when we look at our word today, and I didn't even say what the word of the day is yet. The word of the day is brought to us by 1 Corinthians 12:12, but the word of the day today is inclusion. Inclusion. And when we talk about inclusion, what are we talking about? Is it an illusion of inclusion or what? What is it that we're talking about? So let's look at what our word today is addressing. Inclusion. So honoring the divinity and humanity of all people, I practice inclusion. So the world says you're included, but it's an illusion of inclusion. You're not included, especially if you're black and you're a woman. Each person is a member of the human family. We are members of the human family, whether we're black, white, whatever. United in divinity and diverse in humanity. I honor the righteousness of God that binds all people and the uniqueness of our humanness. Each person's talents and gifts that makes each one different from the next. Your talents are different from mine. Mine are different from yours. I practice acceptance by living with open-hearted curiosity. I'm curious to know what other people are like in other places, seeking always to learn and understand another. I hold a positive vision that as others around the world do the same, our defenses will soften, our divisions will lessen, and our discord will dissolve. So my heart is soft and open, a place of inclusion. I see others as part of God and as part of me. I welcome everyone to be their truest self around me, accepted exactly as they are. So we have this call. we have this call to inclusion and to be our truest self and being authentic with that, with our truest selves. So, let's see. Okay. I am just in pain. It hurts. It's like I can't have nothing on me. It's just like this hurting pain. But anyway, that's our time today, everybody. I have to get ready for my office hours that starts in 20 minutes. Thanks so much for joining. I don't have my music to get this going, but remember our verse today came from Jeremiah 29 verse 11, and I love that because I know the plans I have for you that lives within, and that lives within knows the plans that one has. So you have to connect with that one that lives within in order to be on the same page. And Jeremiah 29:11 tells us this. Our word today, inclusion, is brought to us today by 1 Corinthians 12:12. You know, we are one and we are blessed, highly favored, and wonderfully made. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Remember, stand in love. Don't fall in it. Take good care. Sorry I'm not feeling up to it today. Thank you so much for liking my shirt. My little flowers on it. Thank you so much. Take good care. I'm going to feel better soon. A heating pad, all of that. Take good care.